We can now bring in our international affairs editor, Shirli Sitbon. Shirli, good to see you. Israel has reopened this border crossing between Egypt and Gaza, but why such strict controls?
Several reasons. The official one, for security reasons, there are requirements on both sides because, for example, for Egypt, everyone who crosses into Egypt has to go back to Gaza afterwards. It has to have the guarantee from Israel that everyone will be able to go back. Same time, the Israelis say, well, we have to make sure that these people are not part of Hamas. It's not just a lifeline for civilians in Gaza. It's a lifeline for terrorist organizations who want to rebuild. That's the official position from the Israelis, saying they really have to check through this so Hamas doesn't use this reopening. But what we can also see is this is also a way of the Israelis putting pressure, saying that we're in phase 2 now. But what matters to the Israelis in phase 2 is this disarmament and the total disarmament of Hamas, getting it out of the Gaza Strip. And they say, well, we don't see this happening. We don't see a plan about how this can happen. And so it seems like they're pressing, saying, we're not going to give that card now. We're not going to do what we're supposed to do in the second phase right away, immediately, because we still want to have this pressure on everyone, by the way. They want to do what Donald Trump is asking them to do, but to the minimum level, so they still have that way of pressing all of the players here. At the same time, every time I talk to Kogad, it's the coordinator of Israel's government activities in the Palestinian territories, so in Gaza, they've been telling me that they don't ban anyone from leaving the Gaza Strip as long as they find a country where they can go to. They're saying it's the other countries who don't want to take them in because they want them to go back to Gaza afterwards. So everyone's playing with words, but meantime, the Palestinians are trapped in Gaza in the situation that's impossible for them.
Now, also in the enclave, we have MSF, Médecins Sans Frontières, who've announced that they will be halting their operations in Gaza. Why is that, Shirley?
Well, because they refuse to comply with the new regulations from the Israelis. The Doctors Without Borders, MSF, they have this terrible problem, terrible choice to make, because they're key to the Palestinians. 20% of hospital beds in Gaza are provided by MSF. 20 health centers are run by them. 800,000 consultations, 10,000 babies have been delivered by their doctors. So they're crucial. If they leave, well, this means that the health system in Gaza will collapse. That's what many observers say. But they've discussed this, but they say they can't give everything that Israel is asking for. Israel is asking for the identity of all their Palestinian workers, their addresses, all the details, and MSF says that will put them at risk. So yes, they don't want to abandon the Palestinians in Gaza, but they don't want to give in to this pressure from the Israelis, saying they have to get so much data. I have to say that Israel says that 2 of MSF's employees in Gaza are part of Hamas and the Islamic Jihad, which MSF denies. But imagine if MSF gives all the addresses to Israel, and Israel says they're part of terrorist organizations, well, that would clearly put them at risk. So that's something that we're seeing.
And there were a lot of foreign doctors who would go as part of MSF missions to Gaza and help the healthcare system there. So clearly that's good.
Perhaps know that 15 MSF employees, Palestinian employees, have been killed since the beginning of the war.
Shirley,